The sea covers over 2/3 of the planet's surface. Yet we know more about space and the universe than we do about our own oceans. Between the states of Connecticut and New York is the Long Island Sound, a naturally protected channel into New York City used for over hundreds of years. The Sound's rich maritime history has played a significant role in the growth of our country. Join us as we explore its unsung residents and its forgotten history. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Captain Dennis with Squalus Marine Divers, and I'd like to welcome you to our next dive. Today we're diving down on the west end of the Sound, down in Greenwich, a spot called Hens and Chickens. Don't ask me where all these farm things, cows, hens, chickens, it's all over the charts. This is Great Captains, and there's a series of islands down here in Greenwich, and today we're going to be diving off of the eastern part of Wee Captains, W-E-E, Wee Captains, on a spot called Hens and Chickens, which is basically a whole bunch of rocks. You'll see how big some of these rocks are, and some actually break the water at low tide. So if you don't know where you are, you could really screw your boat up if you're in this neck of the woods. On the bottom, there's a lot of mussels, and there's a lot of rocks. So I'm thinking we might come across some blackfish on today's dive, or tautogs. I just want to eyeball the anchor and make sure we've got a good hook. The current was moving a little bit in here. It was a little difficult for me to move around. My eye happened to catch this thing. It's a bottle. Like I need more of these. Now here I am swimming with the current, and I was pretty impressed with the visibility. It was about a good 8 or 9 feet. Now this here is what's left of, I think, a small mooring. I don't think this was used to secure a boat. It was probably here to put a warning marker to stay away from these rocks. It's been here for quite a while, as you can see. Yeah, after that silt clears, there's a whole bunch of fishing line wrapped around the base of it. Now, even though this is steel, when it's in the water, it goes through a kind of electrolysis, and the steel just corrodes and corrodes and corrodes and corrodes. But the inside is kind of this is actually still pretty hard steel. The rest of it kind of like flakes off and breaks off like a crust. But this here, yeah, a little sharp still. So we're going to flip this upside down so nobody else runs into it. Now here's some more larger rocks. There's no telling what we're going to find in between these rocks, if anything at all. But I think we'll do okay. This is a heavily fished spot, and we're bound to come across something interesting. These little clumps of yellow are sulfur sponge or boring sponge. It's called a few different things. But there's an awful lot of it down here. Now, all those times when you were a kid playing hidden pictures, can you find the fluke? There he is. I don't know about you, but I think fluke are super cool because they're flat and they just kind of wiggle around like a doormat. They can go pretty quick if they need to. Now again, all these stones, and this is a heavy fishing spot. You can see right here, it's an old style Navy anchor that is caught in between these rocks. It's not like your regular Danforth. I can't even move it, but you can see whoever left it here left a little bit of rope too. And not too far from that anchor, my eye happens to catch this. There it is. An old bottle. More evidence that people fish here and have been for quite a while. Now the rocks down here are big, but this one was one of the bigger ones. I mean, it's got to be about the size of, I don't know, a car. And here's me next to part of the rock. We can't get the whole thing in the frame because I can only hold the camera so far from me, but this thing's pretty big. Swim around some more. You can really see different colors. There's some oranges, there's some yellows, there's some brown, but there's some yellow and there's some orange in here. So look at the starfish over there, and here's a whole bunch of sponge. There's a lot going on down here. This guy is a horseshoe crab getting into a fight with a gang of mussels, or he's digging a hole. Now, I don't like to mess with these guys, and because this guy's digging, I can kind of sneak underneath and get a look at what's going on underneath his shell, which is basically a big armor plate. These guys have been around for millions of years. They're living fossils. There's been a lot of research on horseshoe crabs, and I've been seeing them all over the Sound, and I think that's a good thing. On my way back to the anchor line to finish the dive, I stumbled across this. It's a derelict lobster trap. It's completely abandoned. And as I was looking inside to see if I could see anything, look at that. There's blackfish, and they're stuck inside this trap. No one's ever coming to pick up this trap. It's about 2 inches buried in the sand and the shells. So the first thing I did was cut some of the bungee straps that keep it closed. This way, it'll never get completely closed again. Now, I don't know if these guys are going to shoot out of here like rockets when I open the door, so I'm going to do it really slow. I also don't want to silt out the dive. The top of this trap kind of goes up and over the trap. So you can see here, this guy, he just swims right into the wire mesh. That netting in the middle is where the lobster walks into and then gets trapped. So these guys don't really have the clearance to move around too well down here. So I'm going to cut this netting to give them some more clearance and some more room to move. They're getting a little excited in there. I'm trying to keep them as calm as I can. So I'm going to cut this netting. Try and give them some more room to move. They haven't darted out yet, because either they're afraid of me or they're hitting their head against the wire mesh. See this guy? Let's see if we can give him a nudge in the right direction. Careful, buddy. There you go. One out. It's a shame. These guys would have died of starvation, or one of them would have died, and they may have been cannibalized. Come on, buddy. Work with me. Don't go back in. Here you go. Now stay out of these lobster traps. There's 2 more guys in here. Let's see if we can get them out without making them too crazy. You can see on their sides that they're scraped up from just being bashed into the walls in there. These are 4 lucky blackfish, because I had no idea where I was going to dive down here, and I just happened to come across this. We'll get this guy out. See you later, buddy. And there's 1 more in here. There he is. All right, buddy. No more lobster trap for you. So I'm going to kind of bend this door back so it stays open, and we're going to cut out the rest of this netting. And hopefully nothing else will get stuck in here. I tried to bring the whole trap up, but it's been here for so long it's sunk into the mud and the shells. Some people say happiness is a warm puppy, or happiness can be a grateful blackfish. And with that being said, I'd like to say thanks for checking us out here at Squalus Marine Divers on YouTube. Be sure to check us out at squalusmarine.com, and we look forward to seeing you next time. And until then, I'm Captain Dennis.